couple days closer to that game on Sunday night. I can't wait, man. I am so pumped because I want them to redeem themselves. I want them to find a way. It's it's interesting because this is the matchup that pretty much can determine everything for you in your season in a way. Not in the big picture of schedule and home field advantage and those kind of things. But if you think about it, okay, this is going to be the most physical team you face offensively and defensively. And that's why I'm really, like I was with Buffalo, I'm very excited because I know if they play up to their potential, they have a chance to win this game. Okay? They can do it. I know they can do it. What I certainly don't want is that stinking performance that you put 2 weeks ago where you were completely out of the game, 3 weeks ago now. You can't do that. You got to fight and claw in this game and find a way to win it or put up one hell of a performance. You know what I'm saying? But what I love is it's also a message. So you got a lot of opportunity here if you're the Dolphins. Years ago, okay, those of you that are young, you won't be able to take this journey with me. You'll hear about it. Maybe you could go watch highlights and all of that. But in 1985, the Bears came to town and they were undefeated. And the stage was set. They were the physical team. Miami was the finesse team that can put up points and all that kind of stuff. A lot of the similarities going on here. It has nothing to do with being undefeated and all that. Forget about that part of the theme that Miami handed them their only loss of the season, yada, 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 yada. No, I don't care about that. We know Philadelphia lost last week. But this is the game that if you can beat them, and especially on their turf, okay, then all of a sudden, if you run into them in the Super Bowl, they're going to go, oh crap, these guys gave us some problems. And that would have been good. Rewind again, go back to 1985. If our beloved Dolphins don't freaking choke in that game, and I think it was 3 or 4 fumbles in that game. It was any of us that lived it, you know what I'm talking about. We were so frustrated that night. They basically gave that game away to a lesser New England team. And then New England went to the Super Bowl and got thoroughly embarrassed because they didn't belong there. They just got hot and the ball bounced their way, and that happens sometimes. You know what I mean? They didn't belong in the Super Bowl. The Dolphins were the ones that belonged in the Super Bowl because they were the kryptonite to the Bears. And the Bears, the one thing they couldn't do was their secondary could not hang with Marino and the receivers. And that was their kryptonite. So we're going to find out on Sunday, because again, the brutality of the Eagles is facing because Miami is not considered a physical team. But the defense is going to have to get as physical as it's ever been in order to win this game. And then the offense, obviously, is going to have to be, playing at its best because you're playing such a great defense. Now, their secondary, kind of like what happened with the Bears back in 85, it's not a great secondary. You can take advantage of it. They've got injuries and everything in that secondary. Miami will be able to take advantage of Philadelphia's secondary. So I was thinking about all of that, and I was going, man, if I can only get this scenario reversed, okay, where the Dolphins beat the Eagles and then they meet them again maybe in the Super Bowl, you know what I mean? And then now you've got the blueprint, now you know what to do, all of those things. I'm sure they're going to check the tape last week on what the Jets did and all that to create problems for them. So, it's just one of those things where it's an interesting storyline and it's a great test for the Dolphins. The theme continues. I know there's a bunch of you out there that are butthurt about what I said 3 weeks ago, whatever. You're just children and you don't grow up. It was a terrible performance. Okay. It was an embarrassing performance. It was a fraudulent performance. Whether you want to admit it or not, that's your problem, not mine. Okay. It is what it is. And so you got to step up now. You got to step up with the big boys. The entire Dolphin Nation has not had a great team in decades. Decades. You want to be great. This is it right here, man. This is it right here. And there's a lot of those 85 Bears storylines kind of involved in it. It just, there's a lot of similarities, man. So let's hope they can somehow figure it out and get it done. It would be phenomenal. But this will be the best game that Mike McDaniel needs to coach. This will be the best game, offense and defense, they need to play in order to win this one, because they are a physical bunch. And that's going to be a pain in the ass for 4 quarters, ladies and gentlemen. This will not be easy, but you win this game. It also gives you the kind of confidence that if you can beat the Eagles, you can beat Kansas City, and you certainly should beat Buffalo the next time around. Because, quite frankly, I still think you were better than Buffalo. You should have been able to get it done. It's just these guys have not played to their, ability.
This is the Big O Show.